Olá, boa noite. O Exou Biribó, hoje com o vídeo 9 de The Book of Unwritten Tales 2. Para surpresa apenas do Wilbur, a lousa mágica era de Moncus, utilizando o mago apenas para chegar ao arquimago Alistair e eliminá-lo, colocando a culpa em Willow, como, aliás, Ivo viu naquele jornal. Paramos com Wilbur preso de ponta cabeça no teto da sala de aula, enquanto Moncus, transformado em Wilbur, saiu para o gabinete do diretor.
I really hope that it wasn't a student, and I hope I don't end up like that.
Pegar? Oscilar, se balançar até a jaula. Voltar a tentar. Mais uma vez.
I can't get any closer to it, but I got the skull and a little bone that was hanging off it.
Pegou o quê? Crânio.
This isn't a human skull. It's too small and too heavy. I bet it's some kind of animal or magical creature that liked to bash its head against the wall.
E osso de anzol.
No wonder the bone was hanging onto the skull. It's shaped like a hook.
Tá. E agora? Cortina.
The curtain in my room is slowly disintegrating. Actually, someone needs to clean the classroom from bottom up. And by someone, I do not, however, mean me.
Mesmo.
I think that's the key to the shackles. It was given to me along with the other keys when I accepted the teaching job.
Ele tem a chave. Claro que ele não vai alcançar.
Just a little bit further.
Só mais um pouquinho.
We gnomes are optimists by nature when it comes to physical characteristics. But I'm afraid the key is still out of my reach. Timmy!
What are you doing, Mr. Professor?
Long story. You gotta get me out of here, okay? Fast!
Sim, senhor.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Pegue a chave. Deixar que time colha a
Key on the
chave.
desk, Timmy. Can you reach it?
I can't get up there.
I thought you were really good at climbing.
Yes, but not flying.
Well, think of something.
Sacar fio da cortina.
Timmy, a thread from the curtain. Can you bite one off? Well done.
Fazer que time pegue a varinha
Can you
mágica.
toss the wand up to me, Timmy?
Looks heavy.
Try. Oh well. Good try, Timmy.
O senhor continua muito otimista. E a Bá também. Então, faça gancho aí para subir na mesa.
Hey, Timmy, I've got something for you. Catch.
Isso vai matar, tio.
Great. Now, please tie the hook to the end of the thread. Excellent. A grappling hook. Can you use the grappling hook to climb onto the desk, Timmy?
Eu não jogo com o time, ele faz tudo sozinho. Só dou as ordens.
Great.
Pegue a chave.
All right. Grab the key.
Agora me dê a chave.
The ruler, Timmy. Can you push almost half of it over the edge of the desk? I've got an idea.
Mover a régua?
Perfect!
Olhar a régua.
About half of the ruler is on the desk, while the other half is hanging in thin air. Okay, Timmy, this is where it gets tricky. Please stand on the end of the ruler. I know, the chances are 1 in a million, but we've got to try. Time is running out. Ready? Go! Way! Well, how good was that? The shackles, fast! I love it when a plan... Ah! Ow! Well, I'm free. Well done! Now listen to me. You run as fast as you can to your Uncle Remy and tell him that there's an attack planned on the Archmage. Got it?
An attack on Master Alistair?
That shapeshifter Monkus is behind it, and he has a golem. My golem.
We can do it. I'll get Uncle Remy.
Got it!
Varinha.
Let's hope I can do something with it. Do I have anything in my room that might help me? Nope, don't think so.
Licencinha, seu guarda.
I need to get in the hall immediately.
Stop. Admission only by written invitation.
O arquimago está em perigo.
But the Archmage is in there and he's in mortal danger.
Yeah, right.
But...
Look, I'm sure he can look after himself.
Tem um convite aqui, olhe só.
The invitation? Oh, here you go.
Ah!
Oh, just in time.
Ah, Wilbur, good to see you.
Hello, Archmage. Good to see you too. No! 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 Stop! Ah!
Enough! I should have known that you'd be behind this, Monkus. This is the last time you hurt Avantasia. I'm going to have you imprisoned and...
Alistair!
Ooh! Ta-da!
Agora abaia o arquimago.
Danger! We have an intruder! Wilbur Weathervane! What the...
You're too late, Shield Hand. The Archmage has been murdered. By him!
But... what? How?
He has murdered the leader of the Alliance, which makes me the new leader. Arrest him, Shield Hand!
Eu não fiz. Foi Monkus, o feiticeiro.
But...
Wilbur, this way. Quick, put this on.
Stop them!
Oh.
Out of the way!
The Archmage, we have to...
We can't do anything right now. We should first consolidate our position and gather information. What happened exactly?
Monkus está atrás de tudo.
Monkus is behind all this. He tricked us all.
Monkus, the sorcerer.
He can use his amulet to transform himself. He assumed the role of the street urchin and the school headmaster, at least temporarily.
We never found him in the Tower of Evil. And how could we? He must have disguised himself as one of our own soldiers and come with us to Seastone.
O Golem jamais seguiu minhas ordens.
The golem has never really listened to me. That damned magic slate whispered him his real commands. I built the weapon which tried to kill the Archmage.
If you want to blame someone, then start with me. I encourage you to build the thing. It was my duty to not just think of the good, but also the bad it could cause. And your wand, what was that all about? The Archmage is the most powerful mage I know, and I saw him being turned into a frog, just like that.
I don't know. It behaved strangely yesterday in class too. But I never would have thought that it was so powerful that even a little girl... It was the wand. The whole time. It did all the magic, not me. It's so powerful that even a little girl... It's all my fault. I didn't recognize Monkers, and I didn't realize there was a dark force coming from my wand because...
Wilbur.
Because, in reality, I'm not a mage at all.
What's the situation?
Not good. Another two of us have been turned into hamsters. The town is a nightmare in pink. The resistance has collapsed and the lower town is more like a ghost town. The Van Buren girl is transforming everything that is in her mother's way. There's nothing we can do to stop it. How's our patient doing? Come on, Wilbur. You can't go on like this. You've been lying there for days. We need your help.
Já ajudei mais que o suficiente. Ou atrapalhei.
I've already helped enough.
How many times have I told you it wasn't your fault? But even if that's what you want to believe, please help us sort out this mess. We have to get the wand of Van Buren's daughter and find a way to destroy it. And none of us knows about magical wands. You're the only one who does.
Não tenho nem ideia.
I don't know a thing about magic. I just waved a magic wand around and if all went well, I was able to light a fire. A little girl could transform entire cities with the same wand.
But you still know more about magic than we do. And then there's your legendary ingenuity.
Where did it get me? I killed the Archmage and plunged the world into chaos.
The world is always in chaos. And Alistair might still be alive.
Forte ataque de autopiedade. Está morto e é tudo culpa minha.
Master Alistair's gone. He was transformed and we left him.
We don't know if they've killed him. The council leader might be keeping him as a trophy. Van Buren has turned the school hall into a headquarters because the Archmage's office in the Mage Tower is hiding from her. And all the ratholes in the school have been blocked off, so we don't know what is going on in there.
Vãs ilusões. Tudo terminou.
That's wishful thinking. Alistair's gone. And if even Alistair wasn't able to stop Van Buren's daughter, then we shouldn't risk any more lives. We've no chance.
We mustn't give up hope. Come on, Wilbur. We'll find a way to break the power of the wand. Together.
I can't. I'd just make things worse.
No, you wouldn't. And you've wallowed in self-pity for long enough.
Hey.
Eu tirando a aba
There's
da
no place for
cama
layabouts or cowards in the resistance.
para ir para a
That's
escola.
not...
Yeah? It's not what, Wilbur?
You're right.
Aba do passado.
I'll go back to the White Ridge Mountains.
Fine. Then go home and wait until the war comes to you. But my ring stays here.
Hey, don't! Ah! Ah!
If you want to know what's going on with the wand, find me at the entrance to the lower caves.
Olhar o retiro dos ratos. Pratos.
Sink is full of soup bowls. I don't know how many rats come here for a hot meal on any given day. Must be dozens of them.
Cozinheiro.
The cook hasn't left my side for a moment. Remy probably told her to watch me. I think she's a little cuckoo. She mumbles to herself all the time.
Globo de água.
The cook brought me the water skin on the second day. It was high time too. I was dying of thirst. It's made of rubber. That's pretty unusual. Water skins are usually made from everyday materials such as animal stomachs and the like. Not something exotic like rubber.
Vela.
When the candle is lit, it doesn't just provide light, it also warms your feet when you're rat-sized and lying in Timmy's bed. I think the cook will be pretty upset if I just take the candle. If I was still small as a rat, I could easily leave the caves. The rats have their secret entrances to the city everywhere.
Trepar pela tuberia?
I don't get to say this often, but I'm too big for that.
Era só uma piada.
The little guy seems to be doing well. He gets fed regularly, has his own swing. Not a bad life.
Falar com a cozinheira.
Hello.
My God, oh God! My, how you've grown!
I'm, Wilbur.
Stew,
You're the cook, and your name is Stew. Isn't that kind of metaphysical? In a cosmos composed of names, billions upon billions of names, you, a cook, are named Stew. Destiny? Fate? Blind chance? Mere coincidence? A fine kettle of fish, indeed.
no such thing as coincidence. Cause, effect, that's all. Ethel's my name. Want some stew?
Tudo no mundo tem uma ligação, diria se ela fosse cozinheira. Assim que você cuida de todos os ratos aqui?
So you're the cook here in the rats camp?
Yes. I am good at mixing things. Was a lab rat for years.
You worked in a lab?
For a mad alchemist, until it got too dangerous. Wanted me to trial a face cream that would make you look 10 years younger. I was only 2 at the time.
Oh, right. I get it.
From then on, I tried to be really stupid, attempted to fail at every experiment. The question is, if one tries to fail and is successful doing that, has one really failed?
Se você tenta falhar e tem sucesso, você falhou ou teve sucesso.
Can I ask what happened to your leg? An alchemistical accident?
No, I gnawed it off myself.
What?
Down there in the cave. You'd have done the same, ooh.
Somehow I just really doubt that.
There are monsters there, I'm telling you, and they've got it in for us. If you have to choose between your leg and your life, then you nibble.
Pode fazer poções mágicas?
If you know a lot about alchemy, then you can brew potions, right? Like shrinking potions, for example.
Oh, don't hold much store by magic potions. People start craving them. Start with weak potions from itsy-bitsy little phials, then at some point they aren't enough anymore. Suddenly it's got to be small potions, then medium, then large, then epic.
A single vial that would shrink me back to the size of a rat would be enough for me.
Oh, no, much too dangerous.
O que temos no menu?
What are you cooking?
Stew, it's always stew.
Tasty. What kind?
It's always the same, has been for years, but new things are added every day, whatever happens to appear. If you want stew, come back later, it isn't ready yet.
Você fala com você mesma?
I couldn't help but notice that you, sometimes mumble to yourself.
I'm thinking.
Well, most people do that silently.
Oh, because they aren't thinking properly. You aren't asking the pertinent questions.
For example?
If glue sticks to anything, then why doesn't it stick to the inside of the glue tube? Why do noses run, but feet smell? Why is abbreviation such a long word?
I, don't know.
You see, you take these things for granted, but it's completely mad.
Você faz demasiado perguntas.
Perhaps one can ask oneself too many questions. What do you reckon?
If a theatre has been filled to the last seat, who has this last seat been reserved for? And how did the inventor of the clock know what time it is?
How do you come up with these things?
There are unanswered questions all around us, and no one is doing anything about it. If you eat pasta first, then antipasta, have you eaten anything at all?
Alguma vez você tentou parar de fazer perguntas?
Maybe you shouldn't ask yourself all those questions. Or, at least, not all at once.
Oh, it can do your head in. Was on the brink of creating a self-help group, but then I thought, self-help group? Isn't that a contradiction in itself?
Yeah, maybe some questions don't need to be answered.
But are we not here to answer questions? That's why I love alchemy. It gets to the bottom of life's deepest ones.
It was nice to have met you, Ethel.
Knew you already. You lay in Timmy's bed for days. Why? It wasn't your fault what happened to the Archmage.
You think? Imagine if a few rats were to die because it turned out that, in reality, you couldn't cook. How would you feel?
Not good. I'd blame myself. Would feel stupid. But Monsieur de Dumas requests your assistance. You can't leave him in the lurch.
I tried to help last time too, and it ended in disaster. Who can say that it won't happen again?
Questions, tricky questions.
Monsieur de Dumas é o Remy.
Maybe if I'm very careful... Ouch!
If you want something to eat, ask.
A more or less white tea towel. Ouch!
That's mine.
Sorry.
Olhar a cama.
I don't know how long I lay there. Must have been days. The rats were very kind to me, talking to me and offering me stuff to eat. That just made things worse. If they told me off, I might not have felt so guilty. My own bed is waiting for me in the White Ridge Mountains. It's warm and cozy. If only I could hide myself away there and not come out until I know what to do. No, I think I'll just leave it there. The plates are covered in greasy leftover sauce, and I'm not a fan of washing up. Especially when I didn't even dirty them myself.
Pedaço de tela. Tecido.
What's this? Some kind of little bag. I'll take it with me.
Olhar o tubo.
The bit of sewer pipe is so heavy that it's sunk halfway into the ground over the years. Not surprising, really. The ground here isn't stone, it's firmly trodden waste. I wonder where the pipe comes from. Seastone is known, or shall we say, infamous, for not having any sewers to speak of. Maybe someone wanted to change that, and this is both the beginning and the end of their efforts. There's a few artificial columns and arches here, as well as natural caves. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some mining done here once.
Subir no vagão.
Maybe I can get a better view from up there. Yep, definitely better. Not decisively, though.
Olhar o lixo do outro lado aqui.
A fur collar that looks almost new. Why would you throw something like that away? One could have given it to the poor, or even left it on the chinchillas. That's all I wanted.
Entrar na cova.
Ah, Wilbur, there you are. Have you changed your mind?
No. I just want to get out of here.
Highly regrettable.
Você quer baixar? Por quê?
What do you want down there in that dark hole?
I found your wand down there years ago. My grandfather, a true rat adventurer of lore, climbed into that hole just to find out what was down there. When he didn't return, everyone thought he was dead, apart from me.
You followed him?
Despite all the warnings, but I didn't find him. Instead, I found a wand. Just as I began examining it, a terrifying ghost set upon me, and I fled. I don't know why I took the wand with me. Perhaps it wanted to be taken. When a little gnome came down to our town some years later with big ideas of becoming a mage...
I was very proud of my wand and... Oh. How did the magic wand get there? And whose was it?
I don't know. There are old ruins down there, and lots of terrible tales. If I can find out whose wand it is, then perhaps I can find a way to break its power.
Remy, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for me.
You saved Timmy's life. You kept us rats fed when there was nothing left to eat. There's no need for you to thank me.
I'd like to help you again, but I can't.
You can, but perhaps you need time to remember that.
The wand. It began behaving weirdly a few days earlier. I thought I was getting better at magic. I should have paid more attention.
And Alistair should have examined it more closely. And I shouldn't have asked you to build the golem. No one is to blame for what happened, or we're all to blame, whichever way you choose to see it. What is important is that we get up and go again.
No, it's crucial that we think first. The last time I just carried on, and we know how that ended up. The wand. Something's wrong with it. It's too powerful.
How do you mean?
Magic is nothing else than focusing the ambient magic around us and then using it. Good mages can also cast minor spells without wands, but most need wands to focus the magic.
And particularly powerful ones focus the magic particularly well.
Yes, and the most powerful not only focus it, they also amplify it. But up there in the staff room, it was different. The Archmage cast spells, Monkus cast spells.
Right. Where did all the energy come from needed to break down his magical defenses?
I agree. It's almost as if the wand itself were a source of magical energy. But I've never heard of anything like that.
Another reason to get to the bottom of things.
One more reason not to rush into things. This is too big for us, Remy.
Pah!
This ghost that followed you back then, do you think it's still down there?
I haven't dared return to the darkness for years, because I'm convinced of it.
Then maybe you shouldn't go back down there.
Perhaps you're right, but someone's got to go and find out what's going on with that wand, right?
Remy?
Courage and conviction, Wilbur. Courage and conviction.
Good luck. Back in the White Ridge Mountains, I had to listen to long lectures by the cellar master about different types of stone and minerals. Can't really claim that I listened all that attentively, but that looks like a coal vein to me.
Tá, veios de carvão. Tambor. Toca teu bongozinho.
How does something like that end up in the trash? If I had a bongo drum, I'd play it all day long. And night. And then others would throw it in the trash. Ah, got it. Yeah. I don't feel like playing. I want to get out of here. I want to go home. Maybe it's a symbol warning visitors about the evil in the hole. Or maybe it keeps the evil trapped down there. There are ancient symbols that can do just that.
Roda de hamster.
There isn't much you won't find down here. Hamster wheels, for example.
Agora falta arranjar uma fedidona, que nem a rata da Bá, para rodar. Tubos.
A massive pipe, perhaps iron or lead. Presumably it transports something from the town into one of the caves down here. And probably, I really don't want to know what it is.
Construção.
Someone had to install the pipes down here. How did they get into the underground? And even more importantly, how did they get back out?
Olhar o suporte.
The design doesn't look too stable. On the other hand, it doesn't look like it was built anytime recently either, which in turn speaks for its durability. Ah! What the heck? Hey, what's the big idea? Did you build this trap? I'd love to, but I'm stuck. Hey! Stop that! Stop that! Are you nuts?
Tá pensando que ele é o rato inimigo. Corda.
An old rope, still in pretty good shape. I can't quite reach.
Pedaço de pau para puxar a corda.
Got it.
Conversar com o robô.
Hey, little fella. I could use some help here. Hello? I think it's trying to hide from me. I probably scared it. It doesn't respond to me. Maybe it just wants to sit the whole thing out.
Jogar a madeira nele.
Hey, you! Hi there. I just want...
Joga um pau, ele joga uma pedra.
An approximately fist-sized stone. That would really hurt if it hit me in the face.
A corda para sair pelo tubo.
That didn't work.
Tem que pôr um peso na corda.
I hope it stays on. There we go. Great. And now, the old heave-ho. That got it. Hey, wait. I'm not going to hurt you.
E na pilha de lixo? Tinha um atalho aqui, ele não vai pela escada. Para chegar aqui, ele vem direto. Figura de madeira.
A huge mountain of rubbish, tons of it. And I just happened to find a carved figurine of my very favourite hero. It's a sign. I've read all your stories. He was brave and proud, and he never gave up. Because of you, I wanted to experience adventure and left the White Ridge Mountains. And you were only a story.
O cavaleiro que diz ni, ele jogou fora. Pega a capa, então, que sobrou. Raio de luz.
The hole up there is even higher than I thought. I'm going to need more than a folding ladder if I want to reach it. A bell. I guess it's there to get people's attention. Which is usually what bells are for.
Toca a campainha.
Should I ring it or not? Do I really want the attention of someone up there? But the hole seems to be the only way if I ever want to get out of here.
Yes? Are you finally finished?
Bill? That you?
Weathervane, a black cat must have crossed my path.
Yes, it's me. Could you maybe lower me a rope?
No way, you're a wanted criminal. There are posters of you up all over.
Não sou criminoso.
No matter what they say, I didn't kill the Archmage.
Anyone with any brains knows that. You couldn't have harmed a hair on the Archmage's head, even if you wanted to. But as long as that's the official version of the story, I'd rather not think about it out loud.
Que tal vão as coisas?
How's it look up there? How are things in town?
Dreadful. Not a customer in sight. It's almost as bad as during the war. I should have known. Politicians are bad for business. Every last one of them.
Por favor, me tire daqui.
Come on, get me out of here, Bill. I won't cause any trouble.
That'd be a first.
Please, I want to leave
Ih,
town.
pediu por favor.
Don't blame you, but it's too risky. If Van Buren catches me, she'll probably turn me into a pink, doe-eyed petting lamb.
Come on, for old time's sake.
I'm not putting my neck on the line for you. Ask your friends, those darn rats.
Há cartazes meus na cidade?
There are posters of me hanging everywhere.
Here, not a bad likeness if you ask me.
Wanted for the murder of Archmage Alistair, the scurvy, dangerous, armed and stinky fiend Wilbur Weathervane. I don't stink. Or if I do, it's only because I spent a few days in bed.
I told them if they wanted to catch you, they'd have to put a serious bounty on your head.
Would you betray me?
If the price is right, sure. But until then, I'm keeping my head down, like everyone else who's got any sense. Well, you gotta be smart these days, or you'll end up running around in a pink tutu, or worse.
As always, a truly informative conversation. See you later.
You're welcome. I don't mind risking life and limb for our cosy little chats.
Eu não sou fedido. Eu tomo banho, uso deodorante.
Couple of power lines. They lead through the ceiling somewhere up there. One strand goes into the rats' camp, the other leads down towards the junkyard. I always thought Gnome Hill was the only place with electricity. But beyond the White Ridge Mountains, it's been used here and there for years. Looks like, a V-belt? I wonder how it got up there. Nah, clearly out of my reach.
Ir para a zona iluminada.
That must be one of the monsters Ethel was talking about. Better if I have a plan on how to overpower it before it notices me.
Gulliver.
Oh, hello. You must be the terrible monster that was destroyed by my son's wonderful trap.
Você é zumbi?
I'm Wilbur Weathervane. You're not gonna eat me or anything, right?
Wilbur? You're not Nate's little friend, the one that was caught by the orcs in the Wildlands?
You know Captain Nate?
Know him? We idolize him. Without him, I'd never have met the love of my life, Esther. Gulliver's the name. Welcome, Wilbur Weathervane. Feel at home. Any friend of Nate's a friend of ours.
Das terras selvagens à Pedra Mar?
I remember Captain Nate talking about zombies who helped him in the Wildlands. Anyway, what brought you here to Seastone?
A better life. If you can make it in Seastone, you can make it anywhere. Hard work still pays round here. I learnt that from Bill. He got us the job here.
Bill the merchant?
The most successful trader in Seastone. Only just arrived in town and we're working for a man like that. Not bad, eh?
Não estou seguro de que Bill seja tipo tão legal.
I'm not so sure if Bill is really such a great guy.
How can you say a thing like that? It was him that smuggled us into town, even though zombies aren't exactly popular here. Sure, it wasn't cheap, but Bill has his costs, and he created a possibility for us to work off our debts. We build these slates for him. They're a hit, he says. He always wants more.
Hey, I had one just like that.
You see? A hit. Bill has a nose for good business. I'll work hard and learn from him. Then I can finally offer my family what they deserve.
My magic slate was evil, and it deceived me.
Magic slate? Poppycock. They are neither made out of slate, nor are they magic.
If they're not magical, how do they work? 'Cause I don't see any gears.
I don't really know. Has something to do with the intelligent stone, as Bill calls it. Fell from the sky one day in a blaze of light. I cut off a thin slab, set it in a wooden frame, and then give it an almighty electric shock. That's all.
You pump electricity into the rock and that wakes it up?
Yes, you could put it like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore. It's a serious problem. How am I supposed to finish the last batch if I don't have any power?
And Bill came up with the idea for the slates. I never would have believed it.
Why not? He's very innovative. He copied the idea from a trader down south with his very own eyes. At first, he had a couple of carpenters from the lower town work on it, but they just kept wanting more and more gold. Didn't give Bill a chance. He had to let them go and shift production down here. We were lucky that we were standing at the gates at just the right moment and were looking for a job. And now we're just one batch away from earning our own gold.
How do you deliver the slates to the upper town?
Have you seen the hole above the pile of rubbish? Bill lowered us down through it, and every time we finish a batch of slates, we ring the bell and he sends down a basket.
So the hole in the ceiling's the only way out to the underworld?
The only one I know about. And we don't need any more. The current batch is our last. Esther, Nate and I will be pulled out of this stinking place and can finally begin our undead lives in earnest up there.
O robozinho é teu filho?
Yes, we promised an old friend we'd name our first child after him.
And this little robot?
Nate.
Nate?
We promised Nate we'd name our first child after him. We actually wanted to wait a bit, but my little cherry blossom started having problems with depression, said I worked too much and that she felt lonely. You know how women are.
No.
So then we built Nate. Well, we started him off at least. He did the rest himself. He's a great little inventor.
When will the next delivery be ready?
Never, by the look of things. No electricity.
If I help you, will you take me with you when you leave?
Why not? If you help us, we'll help you too. Of course we will.
Right. Then, so why don't you have electricity?
That's what I would like to know. I guess it's got something to do with those darn rats. They use the same cables as us. They probably wanted to sabotage production.
I can't believe that. The rats are very nice.
Nice? They attacked my wife, wanted to eat her. And now I'm sure they want to prevent us from working our way out of poverty. Don't talk to me about nice.
NT construiu a si próprio?
Nate built himself.
Once he could hold a screwdriver, there was no stopping him. But he doesn't only tinker with himself, he invented most of the machines in here.
That thing too. It's really impressive. What does it do?
That? He got it in his head that a machine could do my work quicker. But as you can see, it's not working.
No one would ever expect a workshop like this under a junk heap.
Thanks. Built it all myself. I worked on it day and night. Didn't want to disrupt slate production, of course. But it was worth it. My son's an inventor, just like his old man. Here he can learn everything he'll need for later in life.
Onde estão NT e Esther?
I think I scared Nate earlier.
He's shy and has never seen anyone like you before. In fact, he only knows Esther and me.
Where is Esther?
Oh, at home, but it's not really presentable. Anyway, you ought to sort out the electricity first.
No problem. Hopefully it's not a big deal. There's a lot to do. Best I get to work.
That's the spirit. You only get anywhere in this life through hard work.
Abrir a torneira? Não, né? Olhar os cabos elétricos.
According to Gulliver, the electricity failed a while back, but he needed to wake up the slates. I don't think it's because of the cables. Works!
A Báquia da engenharia deve saber tudo aqui como fazer. Relógio de cuco. Deixa ele batendo na porta dos fundos para distrair o porteiro. Enquanto pesquisa.
Oh, this is a clock cuckoo's nest. They are so rare. They build their nests in human houses and disguise them as clocks. When the homeowners aren't looking, they fly around and steal cookies and other treats. Although it looks more like a replica of a clock cuckoo's nest. There are people who actually hang these things in their living rooms.
E por que não pega?
The clock isn't ticking. Presumably it can be wound through the little hexagonal hole in the dial if you have the right key.
Olhar a máquina.
As a gnome, I can recognize what that is immediately. A garbage sucker, which sucks garbage in the front and blows it out the back. Some might wonder why, but good inventors never ask such questions.
Caixa de madeira.
A small box with a switch on it. I will resist. Well, alright. That could be the best machine ever built. That's one of the little robot's inventions. The machine is supposed to somehow help relieve his hard-working father. I don't know how. Boiler, combustion chamber, flywheel, a steam engine, clearly.
Tá.
Why build something out of wood when you can build it out of iron? That was one of my granddad's favourite sayings. That philosophy brought me iron toys, iron shoes for the garden, and lucky, my iron horse. Gulliver, may I please borrow some boards?
No problem, I've got more than enough wood to complete the order.
Pedra.
This is the strangest rock I've ever seen. It glitters and it glows a little. That thing looks magical to me. I don't want anything to do with it. The electricity doesn't even get this far. Maybe I should follow the cables, see if I can find the problem. Gulliver uses these power cables to shock the magic slates to life. Or at least he used to. The electricity died recently. Gulliver blames the rats. The steam engine's probably supposed to power the strange machine next to it. Doesn't look like it ever did, though. The engineer must have run into a snag.
É culpa do engenheiro. Fita adesiva.
I've never seen tape that wasn't useful for something.
Tá, vou ter que fazer uma bobina rotativa aqui. Mas vou precisar de passo.
Seems Gulliver's tapped the rat's lines for some electricity. As it is, everything looks fine. The problem must be further up. Hi, Ethel. Rebby's gone. He's descended into the dark hole.
Oh, he is so brave, all alone in the dark.
He's taking another big risk. I wonder if that's such a smart idea.
Oh, one of the downsides of risk is that it's risky.
Do you know if there's a way out of here? A gnome-sized one, I mean.
That big? No. However, Monsieur de Dumas has a shrinking ring.
He took it with him.
Then he probably wanted you to stay here.
He can't understand that I... maybe I'll feel better after a few weeks at home.
Maybe yes, maybe no. He needs a friend by his side. Not maybe, not in a few weeks. Now. Thinks the world of you. All rats do.
Then I'm afraid you've picked the wrong guy.
Ah, o time voltou aqui. Antes que roubassem a cama dele em definitivo.
Remy should never have locked me up in here. He should have just let me go.
Had his reasons, always has.
He should know that no matter how complicated it is, sooner or later, I'll find a way out of here. I'm pretty good at this kind of thing.
Perhaps that is why.
Sabe o que aconteceu com a eletricidade?
Do you have any idea why there's no electricity?
Nope, not a clue. Don't like electricity. Like fire. It's warm and gives light. Can be explained in terms of alchemy. Electricity is like... magic.
The soupy stew smells surprisingly good.
What do you mean, surprisingly? Do you want a bowl?
Well, I guess I'm kind of hungry.
One stew coming up.
This tastes fantastic.
Cooking is like alchemy, just fewer explosions.
Falar com Tim.
Timmy tried for a long time to cheer me up and to finally get me out of bed. Eventually, he gave up. Hi, Timmy.
Hi.
Conheci robô e uma zumbi. E zumbi.
Ethel believes there's monsters down there, but they're only zombies and robots as far as I can see. They seem to be very nice.
The skull throws things at us when he sees us. The little robot runs away if I get too close.
Maybe I can get them to be more friendly towards you.
Cortou a eletricidade?
It looks like the power supply's broken.
It's been down for 2 days.
What happened?
The same that's happening all over. Little Van Buren had some fun. We nicked electricity from the old role-play machine in the inn. And the inn's not there anymore.
The inn? Not there anymore? What about Sloth and Blout?
They're fine. For now. They play along nicely and keep their heads down. They might have a chance.
Oh, bother.
Preocupado com o Remy?
Nothing will happen to Remy. He's the toughest rat I know.
But he's all alone down there in that terrible hole.
Maybe. It's not all that terrible.
No one has ever dared to go down there, apart from Uncle Remy and his grandfather. That hole is evil. I wish I could have gone down there with him.
Tem uma roda de hamster.
Would it be inappropriate under current circumstances to ask you to go for a run in a hamster wheel?
I'd say. That's why you'd never ask me, right?
Of course not. And would it also be inappropriate to ask Ethel to do it? Yep. Of course.
Ethel parece ser pouco especial.
Ethel's an excellent cook, but a little special, isn't she?
Totally crazy.
I might have expressed that a little differently.
Her cage in the lab was just above the cauldron. Too many fumes. But she's harmless, and the best alchemist around.
Você sabe como sair?
I know this isn't what you want to hear, but you know any way out of these caves?
Dozens.
Even one in my size?
No. Apart from the unreachable hole in the ceiling, of course.
That's exactly what I was afraid of. Hi, Ethel.
Pouco mais
Can I
de
have some more
cozinha.
stew?
But of course, my big un. And? How's it taste?
Iria bem pouco mais de sal. Podia estar mais quente. Estaria melhor se fosse mais espesso. Mais quente.
Tastes great, but it could be a little hotter.
Ah, understood.
Quando ela deixa mais quente, embaça os óculos. E ele pegou algum prato? Pegou um monte de prato aqui. A fita crepe com a roda de hamster.
I attached some double-sided tape to both the outside and the inside. Two are better than one.
E a pele.
I'm not quite sure why, but I glued the fur onto the inside of the wheel.
E os pratos.
Hey, a water wheel. Not bad, but it still needs a few blades. I'll just ask Ethel for a few more potions of stew.
Ainda estava faltando
Thanks.
prato?
If I eat another thing, I'll explode. 8 bowls on the hamster wheel. That should do. I stuck the soup bowls to the outside of the hamster wheel. Looks like the water wheel on the spring stream in the White Ridge Mountains. I taped the fur to the inside. When the wheel rotates, it will rotate with it.
Tá, e vai colocar isso no cano de água e automaticamente tudo vai voltar a funcionar?
I think I've almost got it. I'll just let the water run. That's a good start on producing electricity. Only... what next?
Falta ligar aqui só.
Just one more time.
Nada.
That might even work. Wow! You can inflate rat water skins. Who'd have thought? Everything down here is old and used. Some of it's pretty strange too. But every single thing now has a second life and a new task. Hi, Gulliver.
Hello, Wilbur.
I talked to the rats. They've lost their electricity as well.
Oh, really?
They said they were getting it from the role-playing machine in the inn. Something must have happened there.
What nonsense. What could have happened to it?
I know you have a lot of hopes for your life up there in Seastone, but...
Nothing opens as many doors as success. Perhaps we have to work twice as hard because we're zombies, but we'll make it. We've got a whole lot of time, you know.
maybe you won't be safe in the town. You could be transformed.
Transformed? What are you talking about?
Someone might not like your appearance and, do something about it.
We won't be intimidated.
corda.
The rope helped me once, maybe it can again. I could easily reach the V-belt with the rope, but I couldn't get it down. It's hanging over some kind of hook.
Tinha que estar na roda de hamster.
Okay, I'll put the balloon in the middle. And this is the moment of truth. No problem, if you know your way around known physics. Hi, Gulliver.
Hello, Wilbur.
Agora temos eletricidade.
I am the master of electricity.
Excuse me?
We've got electricity again.
Really? Looking good. We're back in business. As soon as we've solved the other problem, we can finish off the batch.
There's another problem?
Bill changed his order 2 days ago. The new slates have to be fluffy and pink instead of black.
Fluffy and... So what now?
According to Bill, it's the law. Esther is already looking for a solution. Please go and ask her how she's getting on.
Okay, but once we've solved the problem, can we get out of here?
Of course. As soon as we have a solution, the batch will be ready in 2 or 3 weeks.
What?
If all goes well, I can manage 3 slates a day. 4 if I put in a night shift. A couple are pretty much finished. Bill wants 80.
I want out of here, and I don't want to wait another 3 weeks.
You can't always get what you want. Perhaps you can help me cutting the rock later. That might save 2 days.
But...
Vamos para outra seção aqui da residência.
Hi, you must be Esther.
Yoo-hoo!
Hi, Nate. I'm sorry if I scared you earlier. Gulliver's promised to take me to the surface with you if I help you with the delivery. He said you're making the fluffy pink covers for the slates.
Oh, I'm not ready yet. And it's not a cover. I'm trying to mix a fluffy paint.
A fluffy paint?
Yes. There are hardly any fluffy materials or furs down here. But old paint and chemicals are here in abundance.
I've never heard of fluffy paint.
Well, there are warm colours, cold colours, neon colours. Why shouldn't there also be fluffy colours?
I'm not sure if a fluffy paint is the right way.
It's the only way. We have to work with what we've got. I'm sure that a good alchemist could find the correct mixture.
Ah, I know someone who's good at alchemy.
Really? Would he help us?
I don't think so. She's actually the cook in the rats' camp.
Oh, the same old story.
The rats are lovely, and you folks are easy to get along with, too. Why don't you like each other?
Oh, it all went a bit badly wrong. We had had a long journey. We lay down in the rubbish to have a bit of a rest. At some point, I woke up and saw a rat nibbling at one of my fingers. She must have mistook me for a discarded titbit. I only realised this much later. I was very surprised and shouted very loudly.
Ew! And then?
Gulliver jumped up to defend me. In doing so, he pushed over a heap of junk that buried him as well as the leg of the fleeing rat. Gulliver was shouting wild threats out and trying to free himself from the rubbish. I went over to the little rat to try and help her. She must have took fright. She gnawed off her leg and limped away.
That's truly a tragic story.
Since then, Gulliver believes all rats have it in for us. He wants to protect me.
He won't let any rat into the vicinity of our home and has forbidden Nate and myself to talk to them.
Mal-entendido começou toda a guerra. Você deixaria que uma rata te ajudasse a fabricar?
But if Ethel the cook wanted to help, would you let her?
Of course. Why not? We just mustn't tell Gulliver about it. He would never allow a rat into our house.
That's the smaller of the two problems. The larger is Ethel. Even if you find the right paint, Gulliver thinks it would still take weeks to complete the delivery.
It's hard work, and Gulliver is working as quickly as he can.
There must be a faster way to build the slates.
Nate thinks so too. That's why he built the constructor. Unfortunately, it doesn't work.
It would make things go faster.
Well, not much faster. It would still take a few hours.
É o critter mecânico esse.
Nate and Gulliver seem to have gnome blood in their veins.
No, Nate has no blood. Gulliver might have something sticky in him.
That's, not what I meant. I meant they both like to invent things.
That's right. They used to make things together, but now, because Gulliver has so much to do, he doesn't have any time for it anymore. I know, but Papa is only working hard so he'll have more time for you later.
I think it's great what you've done for yourselves here. The workshop, this cave.
We have tried really hard, and it will do for us. A little home for a little family.
I think Gulliver sees that differently. Seems to me he's already planning for life in a palace.
He's very optimistic. I think we should be content with what we have. If you're always dreaming about the future, you miss the here and now.
Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans.
Who said that?
I read that on someone's wall, so it must be true. Gulliver's very enthusiastic about Bill.
Yes, he thinks he will help us.
But you don't think so?
Oh, what do I know? I'm just a simple girl trying to take care of her family. But my head was chopped off just because I'm a zombie. I'm really not sure if the people in Seastone will take to us, however hard we might try.
I suggest you keep on going for now. In the meantime, I'll go and see if I can win Ethel over to our cause.
You do that.
Take care, Nate, and you have nothing to fear from us, gnomes.
Yes, Nate. Wilbur is a gnome. You remember them from your book, don't you? Nate has a book about the races in Avantasia. It's his favourite. I have to read it to him every evening. Yes, a gnome.
Yes, gnomes.
Nate thinks he has at last found another inventor.
Inventor?
The book says that all gnomes love tinkering and inventing.
Oh, gnome. What is it?
A map of Avantasia. Nate built it. He often likes to dream of travelling across the lands.
He's never been up there?
No, but I tell him about it every evening, and he has his books.
The map is made from old sheet metal and recycled parts. It must have taken forever. I really hope one day Nate gets a chance to visit some of these places. Esther's equipment isn't all that bad. Her main problem seems to be a lack of experience. Do you need this stand, Esther?
I don't know. Do I need it?
No idea, but I think I need it.
How do you know?
When the walkthrough says that I should take something, I do.
So does the walkthrough also say how I can mix the fluffy colour?
Of course.
Why don't we take a look?
Where would the challenge be in that?
I think you might just be taking me for a ride. Be my guest and take it. I don't need it.
A portrait, painted by Esther. Could be a relation of Gulliver. This looks like scales used by some of the merchants in the market. But this one's broken. One of the pans is missing. Do you want me to see if I can find a second pan for the scales, Esther?
Oh, don't. Just leave it. I'll mix the colour by eye. You're welcome to take the scales with you if you want.
Ooh, might prove useful. Thank you. Let me guess. This is one of Nate's inventions.
Mm-hmm. Of course. It makes us breakfast every morning.
It works?
Let's just say the next thing on my wish list is a machine that will clean the kitchen up after breakfast.
An empty bird cage?
Oh, Nate often feels lonely when Gulliver and I have to work. We thought a bird might be a bit of company for him. I'm making good progress. I've already found a batwing and a few frog eyes.
Yeah. It's fine white sand. I can't just put it in my pocket. I need some sort of container.
Ah, aquele saco vazio. Pegou a areia.
A few handfuls of sand should be enough.
E vai trazer o cuco aqui para pôr na jaula?
I bet it's not easy for Nate. He has the best playground anyone could ever imagine, but no playmates. Pictures of Nate, I'd say. Most show trees, flowers and clouds.
Tudo que ele não viu jamais.
Esther has a collection of different paints and lacquers, but whether or not they can be used to produce the desired paint, I have absolutely no idea.
Chave. Ah, chave pro relógio.
A small socket wrench. Nate must have used it to build the map. I'm sure he won't mind if I borrow it. I've always believed you shouldn't judge people by their looks, even if it looks like their looks are made from a bunch of other people's looks.
Então é isso. Hoje vamos parando por aqui. O Exou Biribó, agradecendo a presença, o apoio, as dicas, a torcida, desejando boa noite, até amanhã. Por enquanto eu fui.